So my name is Pam Marland, and I'm the Director of Training for All Nations. And I just want to share with you a little bit today about what Student CPX is about. It stands for Church Planting Experience. And basically, it's an opportunity for university students to go to college and go with a mission. We believe in All Nations that no matter what your job is, no matter what your career is, that wherever the Lord has placed you, that He has a calling and a vision for placing you there. And that is especially true when you're a university student on a college campus. You know, a lot of university students don't realize the potential that is within the young people of the university community in America. But we know that every modern major missions movement in the United States has been brought on by university students who got a vision for their campus and decided that they would just trust God to go out to their university campus and begin to believe God to not only reach their university, but then to reach the nations thereafter. I'm just thinking of the early guys in California who first went out and had this vision for planting churches on their college campus. They walked around their college campus for, I think, about a year with towels in their backpack because the Lord had said, you're going to see baptisms. And they wanted to show their demonstration of faith by putting towels in their backpacks. And they went around and they really didn't see the Lord come through on that promise for about a year. But after a year, basically, things began to happen. And one person after another began to come to the Lord, to the point where eventually they were baptizing students within the campus's fountains there on their university. And this is a pattern that we've begun to see at many university campuses, so much so that on a couple of campuses, like I think at Arizona State University, we've been asked if we would please no longer use their fountains because we've had so many people get baptized there. So I just want to give you an example. Last week I heard a story about one of our students in Texas. And she basically felt that the Lord was telling her to sign up for a class on shamanism. And I just find it amazing that there is even a class on shamanism at the University of Texas. But she signed up, and it turned out that the very first day, the professor asked questions such as, what kind of power encounters have you had with the supernatural realm? And people were just sharing their stories. So our student began to share her testimony of the power encounters that she's had through the Holy Spirit and with Jesus Christ, walking with her life. And at the end of the class, several students said, hey, we'd like to hear some more about this Jesus that you follow. So she went back to her dorm, and they ended that night with baptizing a student there in her dorm room at her university. And it's just because she was faithful to do the thing that the Lord had asked her to do, to sign up for a class. And this is the kind of thing that we see happening all the time. For example, recently at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, we just went and we just shared that people could go out and the Holy Spirit would lead them and He would guide them. So one of the students felt that the Lord reminded her of a guy that she had seen in a coffee shop recently. And she really felt this compulsion of the Holy Spirit to go to that coffee shop right then. And so she went there. And of course, when she walked in, he wasn't there. And she thought, okay, I'm kind of stupid. Anyway, I tried. And the Lord will bless the fact that I'm faithful in the trying. And while she was sitting there kind of praying, feeling sorry for herself, that guy that she prayed about walked in. And she started engaging him in conversation. And while she was engaging him in conversation about Jesus, this other guy came in, and he basically just started to rain some condemnation down on this guy, telling him he was a sinner and he was going to go to hell, and who did he think he was? And so our student just kind of waited out the other guy, and that guy left. And she said, you know, I can understand where that guy's coming from. But I just want you to know that the Lord loves you. He knows that you're taking steps toward Him. And I just wondered if you're interested in finding out what Jesus has to say about Himself. Are you interested in studying the words of Jesus? And the guy said, you know, actually I would be interested in studying the words of Jesus. And so now they're meeting there at that coffee shop, and they're studying the Bible, the words of Jesus together. And eventually, by God's grace, we hope that his friends will join and that they will have a church there. And so this is what we're talking about. We're talking about students not really doing anything fancy, but just going out to their campuses, following the voice of the Holy Spirit, meeting people right where they're at, and loving them with the love of Jesus Christ. That's the essence of what Student CPX is about.